Hello everyone, Verb here. This is the Aries Cup Procrastinators Guide. I release this after all the guides are released and usually in a spot where people are just starting to panic and be like, I haven't even started the CM. What do? I have no aces. I need to start from scratch, but I don't have a ton of time. I have like maybe a run or two a day for the next day or so to make as many aces as I can to give myself a chance. And that's what I'm here to tell you and discuss is how do you give yourself a chance in Aries Cup when you do not have many runs to do. Usually I pick the easy build Umos and we go from there. This is a very surface level guide. There are full guides available. If you know me, I do guides on all the roles as well as a overview. The overview guide is probably the most important of the guides to do, but I understand they're 30 minutes a piece and not everyone has 2 hours out of their day to go and learn about the CM. What those guides do is they teach you how to build CMs, not just tell you what to build CMs. This is much more surface level. I am going to go through a very specific agenda where I just speedrun my CM overview in about 5 minutes or less. And then I'm going to pick 5 or 6 characters that are pretty quick to easy to build, and most importantly, the CM give you a chance of beating Christmas Oguri, because that is critical, is that we have a baseline in Christmas Oguri. This time, I'm right there with you because I haven't set my CM guides. I have not set my Champions Meeting UMAs up yet because I've been busy with trainer training. And that is why this video is a little bit early because of time constraints with trainer training happening tomorrow. So my normal time frame for this is a little bit shifted. So trainer training, my little advertisement, I guess, is that that's happening later today because this is post midnight. Later today, 8 p.m. EST, I'm starting the stream. 9 p.m. EST, the races start. It's a lot of good fun with a lot of content creators in the Umosphere, as well as a bunch of other games. The finals are tomorrow. It's winner takes all being bragging rights, but it's just been a lot of fun and a lot of learning. So today I'm going to grab a drink of water and then let's do the CM overview very quickly. All right, let's begin. CM12 Aries Cup is on the Nakayama 2,000 meter track. Your greens are right-handed Nakayama race course, standard distance, firm conditions, spring runners, and sunny days. The biggest thing about this track is because we are on Nakayama, we have a very short spurt, meaning front runners are generally very good and pace chasers are good as well as it being a corner track and specifically a corner 3 track. So non-final corner accelerations that are corner accelerations will work this CM. Notably on this track in particular, because of the nature of the track, all straight skills can be early race skills, mid race skills, and late race skills, and all corner skills can be early race skills, mid race skills that have the chance to speed carry over, as well as late race skills as well, and can also be put into a dead zone. For your acceleration options, your inherits are going to be for front runners. This is a corner track, so you go and you need Seiun Sky. For the backliners, you're going to want to go and attempt to get in 5th and 6th position with Measure Dober or Measure Orion, and the pace chasers are part of the Hopes and Dreams Club this time. There's no particularly good inheritable accels, but they do have a secondary acceleration in Meisho Doto. If they pass at the right time, it can be added onto a secondary acceleration. The biggest and most consistent one, because the corner 3 track, is No Stopping Me or Nimble Navigator, and then otherwise on your left or head on for the late surgers and pace chasers will work as well. This is not a straightaway spurt map. Straightaway spurt only works on straights. This is a corner map. Do not take straightaway spurt. That's the most important thing on an end closer is don't take spurt. Go and just get Measuro, Dober, and Ryan. Your stats, 1200 speed, 900 power, 900 wit. Make that a balance. Try to get those as high as you can. You need roughly between 650 stamina, but I like going a little bit above with 750 stamina calculated at 500 guts. Just in case you run into a debuffer or you get rushed, something like that. I think we're going to find some debuffers because not everyone's going to be able to make 3 aces, and I think stamina debuffers are bad right now because it doesn't affect the most important character, which is Christmas Oguri. So we're going to find a lot of Dominator debuffers, and there's not really much counterplay to that. But in case you get one, I think an extra 100 stamina is perfectly fine. Your speed skills, most important, are corner skills over the straight skills because of the chance of speed carryover. There's technically a dead zone, but straight skills can also be clipped. I think the corners are just slightly better. Medium S is very valuable here because it's not 100% required, but because you're fighting Christmas Oguri, who just has speed carryover against you, that medium S is one of the ways that you can fight her in the late race. The biggest challenge this CM is Christmas Oguri, has a 5.78 length advantage on a perfect proc of her ultimate, which is very, very consistent. I don't put it here, but it's about 96% consistent in the pace chaser position if they use Uma squared as a backup and they are within the 3rd and 4th position. Otherwise, it's 75% consistent. So 3 out of every 4 times at minimum, they're going to be at a 5 length advantage to you, and that is why only certain characters can really consistently compete without having to high roll multiple accelerations at the same time. That being said, any character can win. It's just a lot more difficult for a lot of characters. Back to the track. The tier list for rolls are Christmas Oguri in any role pretty much. The short spurt lends to front runners, as well as late surges just have so many gambling options that they can high roll into a Christmas Oguri, defeating Christmas Oguri. And then end closers, the only real reason to run end closers is for Daring Strike for mid race, to basically steal the 6th position in mid race. And paces are pure gamba. You basically hope for a light front lobby and you try to get Seiun Sky and go from there. That is how I would build each of the different roles themselves. Again, those are your greens. Now, that's your CM overview. I think that's the bare minimum you need to know in order to start functioning and building your aces. So I'm going to talk about, I think I have 6 characters, not 5 characters to beat Oguri Christmas, that can be built in just a few runs, perhaps only just like a medium S hit. All right, let's begin. The first character that can beat Christmas Oguri is Christmas Oguri. I know it's a cop-out, but if you have this character, there is no shame in running it. Yes, it's a little, it's the top meta character, but if you're just looking for carrots, it's the most consistent option here. What you need to do on this character is run her Pace Chaser. This is Pace Chaser specifically. Do not bother with the other roles. Get Hydrate for the Pace Chasers. Get Corner Recovery or any of these other ones. Now, granted, Corner Recovery is guaranteed, and all these have some sort of positional requirement, although stuff like Operation Cacao has additional speed, but mostly you want Corner Recovery and Hydrate because they're not really position bound. And then your trigger is 777S, which will give you your acceleration on speed carryover timing plus the acceleration. And then Uma squared is taken as a backup, so you run a Tachyon parent to up your consistency from 76% to 94%. I believe I put it here, 76 to 95%, because you need 3 out of 4 rather than 4. So Oguri Cap Christmas, even though she comes with nothing else, that acceleration is that potent that you just load up as many mid-race and late-race skills as you can, and then generally she may just win at that point. Her ultimate is that powerful. What you can do is there's a bunch of characters that can go against her. In the front runner position, the character that I am suggesting, which is different than last time, because of the need to beat Christmas Oguri, I think it's easier to build a Seiun Sky over a V Bourbon or Summer Marzensky. Now remember, I'm not a front runner player, but I feel like Seiun Sky's flow path is very simple. You have angling and scheming in kit, and it's a 0.4 accel. That counteracts the 0.3 accel that Christmas Oguri has. Now, granted, she can also get angling and scheming to get higher. So what you need to do is create an insurmountable mid-race advantage. What you do with that is Killer Tunes, Professor of Curvature, Escape Artist in the kit. That's 3 mid-race gold skills. That's ridiculous. Your borrow probably is Condor, Pasa, Power. You could also just borrow Kiddos in Black if you don't have her, but you just run a groundwork parent and try to get as much as possible. Just literally don't care about stats on the parents. 9-star groundwork parent. I believe you go Power Sparks on this. I could be wrong. Power and Speed Sparks, and then just run Speed, Power, Wit. I think this character kind of builds itself. I know her mid-race is a little tough because she doesn't have the mid-race ultimate, but I think there's just enough skills in the game that you can support a Seiun Sky this time in the front runner position. For end closer, we're going to go to our trusty gold ship this time, specifically for a very specific reason, in that Daring Strike is very good and she has Daring Strike in kit. You may not even need to get Aweigh power. So if you are a free-to-play player and you just need to hit stats and you need to run like Narita Top Road, you can run Narita Top Road and use Anchors Aweigh as your mid-race speed skill, and you just load up on mid-race and late race, and you are fighting for the 6th position, which means that you need Ryan and Dober, or Ryan or Dober, and try to get Nimble Navigator at the very least. So Nimble Navigator, Ryan, Dober are your accelerations, and just Gold Ship. Gold Ship wins, Gold Ship wit bonus, right, etc., etc. She's a good character. She just wins races and gets in front of the pack, and she can fight for 6th position very well. There is the option, I was going to talk about this, there is the option too, if you are more experienced, you can go and try to go and run El Condor Pasa Speed to get front half of the pack. Now you need to build a very strong gold ship in order to do this in the mid race, because you need to get in that 5th position as fast as possible. You are doing a lobby gamble, but if you do it and it decides to proc late, and you get in the 5th position, or you get a good early race, or you're in front of everybody as gold ship with perhaps before anchors away, it kind of arbitrages when your anchors away doesn't proc, essentially, if that makes sense. For the late surger position, we have a bunch of characters, all right? Late surger is by far the easiest to build, not necessarily the absolute strongest, but they can compete because of how many accelerations they have. Regular Oguri cap, only reason for this one is because of the bonuses 2010, and Triumphant Pulse is a very good skill and comes with Nimble Navigator. This character is probably the hardest of the late surgers to build technically, but honestly, Triumphant Pulse is just very good, and if you're able to get your accels on this character, try to get a no stopping me, very good. The real ones I would say to build, Measure Orion is sort of the free-to-play option. Very interesting as well, because she comes with Rising Dragon, so you can do the same thing I mentioned on with Gold Ship. The thing is that you are kind of counteracting your ultimate, so it's more of a spread rather than a compounding situation like with Gold Ship, where like if you're in 4th place and you proc Killer Tunes, it's insane because now you're like in 3rd place and you're just winning when you're in 3rd place, because who cares if you're procking anchors away when you're right next to the front runners and pace chasers. What I would try to do is probably go and this character just needs mid race, so try to get Yaino Mateki, go and run your speed sparks and your wit sparks to try to go and utilize this power bonus. Get Yaino Mateki 10% race bonus card for it's on, or for playtime's over to help your mid race more. Possibly get Killer Tunes, not Rising Dragon. Rising Dragon's almost always good to take. Rising Dragon's your late race. Possibly get Killer Tunes if you feel like you have enough mid race. If not, just go and build standard late surger, try to hit 6th position for the 0.4 accel, get a Dober alt to add to it as well. Measure Dober is sort of the advanced version of Measure Orion because she just doesn't give you that much, but technically her ult is better because it's 5th or 6th with no rush unless you're me and you get rushed all the time. You want to kind of pair it with a no stopping me. You can also pair it with an on your left, but on your left requires 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, which means you're sort of arbitraging the back half of the pack, whereas no stopping me can proc at any point. You also can just run Yaino Mateki as well for more mid-race as well. This character is a lot harder to build than Measure Orion, but has a lot more, I would say a moderate amount more upside. The last late surger I want to talk about, and this character has grown on me a little bit after watching it, Grass Wonder. Fairly easy to build, particularly because she has on her left and kit. You have Dominator, but try if you're building an ace to not pick up Dominator if you have literally anything else to build. Her ultimate at the very end is quite good. It just requires a pass when you're in 4th or worse, and it's it's 3rd or worse after the pass. So 4th or worse, then you pass somebody. That's probably going to happen in the situations you're winning. So you just go and load up on your Ryan, your Dober, your Nimble Navigator, no stopping me, and then possibly you can take the on your left in her kit as well. There's just a lot of gamble options for this character. She's very easy to build with the 20% speed, 10% power, to be perfectly honest. That's really the main reason for it. As a bonus, one more thing to talk about. If you physically cannot get more than one really good ace, and you truly trust that one ace, you probably saw this coming, make pure Dominator debuffers and try to get the full speed debuffer kit. I don't think you really bother with stamina debuffs too much. I guess you can take them if they're there, but try to go and make a Dominator pure speed debuffer in all roles, all positions, as much as you can. Specifically, Pace Chaser is going to help a lot because it hits Christmas Oguri. There'll be a different video that talks about Dominator and the reason why I believe this, but I believe if you're building Dominator because you physically cannot get another ace, try to run the full Dominator package. Don't try to go this weird hybrid stuff that you're seeing people going. I'll have another video on the topic. So that has been the Procrastinator's Guide. The challenges they're facing is Christmas Oguri. This is why stamina debuffs don't work. The Dominator, if you get pace chaser, if you get hesitant pace chasers and stuff like that, it does affect pace chaser Christmas Oguri as well. So that may help you a little bit if you can only build one ace. But again, you're losing a full slot of gambling to fighter. Try to have some fun. Again, expectations only lead to frustrations. This CM Christmas Oguri is very dominant. There's like a bounty on her. She's that dominant. Try to have some fun with the CM. Pick up a couple wins. Maybe run your Oshi if you have the time to build her. But again, this is the emergency guide. Build what you can. Again, I'm right there with you because I haven't even started because of this trainer training event that's happening tomorrow. I would like to see you all there on the stream. I know it's just me advertising, but hey, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of learning. I've met a bunch of people, which is tough for me because people are scary, you know, but hey, a lot of people have been quite nice. So just like to say it, this is a Seiun event, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Points are doubled. I know we're in dead last, but hey, we're just end closers, right? So yeah, that's it for the procrastinators guide. I hope it has helped a little bit. Again, the full guide, specifically the overview, I would say would be the next thing to watch if you're needing a little bit more stuff to talk about. So appreciate your time. I hope it hasn't been too long. But then again, you know, this is short for me, I guess. So burp out.